And now we welcome Christian Stewart in on the Deseret First Credit Union Hotline. Christian, how do you feel after we rolled out that stat line?
Guys, I really appreciate you letting me relive the glory days. You know, it's no fun anymore sitting behind a desk.
There's no equivalent for 5 touchdown passes, I guess. And here BYU plays Cal, right? Was that your greatest performance, by the way, at BYU? Was that your best game?
Oh, yeah, by far. I mean, you can maybe count Savannah State where I had 6 touchdowns midway through the second quarter, but I think they were worse than a high school team. So I can't count that.
Tell me how you really feel.
Yeah. All right, Christian, BYU takes on Cal tomorrow, trying to go 2-0. BYU has only started the season back-to-back with wins against Power 5 teams once before. It was in 1984. Now, I know what you're thinking. Whoa, slow your roll. BYU just wants to get to 2-0 and, yeah, equal what the 1984 team did with a big win against Cal. But what do you think is the number one thing that will have an impact on helping the Cougars accomplish that feat tomorrow night?
The number one thing to help us, you know, I think it's going to all come down to Tanner. Tanner's going to be the one to make or break this win, and he looked really good last week. They got him in a good rhythm, but, you know, watching him – he's got to just slow down, let the game come to him. He's an experienced veteran quarterback, and he's got to take leadership and take us to victory. I think it all kind of we ride or die with Tanner this week.
What do you think changed at halftime against Arizona? Because there were 72 passing yards for BYU, and it's like, what's going on? You know, the offense hadn't really moved the ball a ton. Then in that third quarter, Christian, Tanner starts 9 for 9. BYU gets 3 straight touchdown drives. What changed?
Yeah, good question. I think a few things. So one, Grimes is a smart coordinator. He was setting a lot of things up, so I don't think you need to expect them to come out of the gate super hot. He was setting up a lot of those play actions, like when they hit Bushman for the touchdown. You know, that was a play that was set up by numerous fly sweeps, numerous runs up the middle by Squally. So a lot of those things were set up over the course of the first half. But then I think Tanner just got into a rhythm. He got confident, and they got him quick throws to get into a rhythm. As a quarterback, being in a rhythm, it's a real thing. And if you can get easy, quick throws, get some momentum, man, you play so much better throughout the game. And I think they did that really well in the second half.
Former BYU quarterback Christian Stewart with us on BYU Sports Nation. The Cougars obviously enjoyed Arizona and the immediate high that came after an upset win in the desert. How do you avoid the proverbial letdown coming home against Cal? What would you say to the team to warn them of a potential letdown?
I'd say we've done absolutely nothing. This team doesn't they're not forgetting what happened last year and all through the offseason. I mean, they've been going through a year of people talking really bad about them.
Right.
People, questioning, is this the right team? Is this the right coaching staff? Is Tanner the right guy? Nobody forgets that. They're not letting one win get to their heads. I mean, we literally have done nothing yet, and BYU fans can't get too excited until we've really proven ourselves against real competition like Cal or Washington or Wisconsin. We got some big games, and I don't think they're going to let up or let it get to their head on one win.
With that said, I feel like culturally we've seen the shift. We need to see the results still. You're right. It's been one game, and we've been talking about how exciting that was. But, yes, one game. What major differences have you noticed either schematically or culturally that tell you, okay, BYU is a different team this season?
So, yeah, they look more disciplined. I think it was an interesting transition going from Bronco to Kalani, who have two polar opposite coaching styles. And it almost swung too far the other way after Bronco left, where people felt like they had so much freedom. It was almost like someone who, during high school was so cooped up by their parents and they go off to college and on their own and they feel like they can do whatever they want. So I think there was a bit of juggling that. But then the offense has an identity. I mean, we really have an identity. We know who we are now. Grad's done a good job of coming in and establishing the type of offense we want to be. And it looks like people are buying into that. I think that was big. Last year, it just felt like Ty was having a hard time establishing anything, and we kind of bounced all over the place. But I think we really have an identity now.
Christian, BYU 3-0 against Cal in the regular season. The only loss was a setback in the Las Vegas Bowl in 2005 to a Cal Bears team that had Deshaun Jackson and Marshawn Lynch. Story for another day. But it's been well documented what you did against Cal, throwing for those 5 touchdowns in a dramatic, really exciting win that propelled BYU to the Miami Beach Bowl. So what kind of scoring match do you expect between the two teams tomorrow night?
Yeah, good question. What did Cal score last week?
24.
I looked at the stat line. 24. So, yeah, I think it'll be pretty evenly matched. I wouldn't expect it to be a 42-35, score like we had back in 2014. That year, people remember they had Jared Goff, and they were running up the score on everybody. So I wouldn't expect that type of shootout, and I think our defense is pretty good this year. But I think you'll probably see something around the 24-21 type score would be my prediction.
And 17 of those points, by the way, for Cal were offensive. There was a pick 6. So they played 3 quarterbacks, Cal did, trying to figure it out. One of those guys was a freshman. One was a transfer sophomore. When you have 3 quarterbacks and all 3 get in, you talked about how important a rhythm is. Do you feel like Cal can get into a rhythm if they're playing 2 or 3 different dudes?
Maybe with 2, and there's only been really one franchise that's done it successfully with Tim Tebow back in Florida. I'd say if you're playing 2 or 3 guys, you don't know who you are, you don't know who your leader is, and it's going to be really, really challenging for you to get in any type of rhythm. I mean, your receivers, your line, people have to adjust to the playing style of one guy, and if you're putting 2 or 3 guys in, it's kind of a free-for-all.
Christian, I want to finish with this. What did Jared Goff say to you after you outplayed him?
No, what did you say to Jared Goff?
On Cal's home field, preventing that team from going to a bowl game.
I told Jared Goff I was going to take his #1 draft pick. I was going to take his spot for him.
That's hilarious. Christian, it's always good to talk to you, man. We would love to see you in studio if you're ever in town close to Provo, man. Let's do it again soon.
All right. Well, I'll see you guys at the game tomorrow. I'll be there.
All right. We'll look forward to that. Christian Stewart on the Deseret First Credit Union Hotline. Deseret First, your values, your timeline, your financial future.